This is a 2021 Mazda MX-5 Miata, ND, RF, ABCD, EFG, 47362. Anyways, I hate this car. Specifically, I hate this one a lot. The Mazda Miata has a long lineage of being slow, unreliable, ugly, and just blatantly unsafe. So today, I'm gonna take you on a tour of this Mazda MX-5 Miata ABCD, I already forgot the letters, and today I'm gonna show you all of its quirks and features. But before we get into that, be sure to check out Trucks and Bucks, my new online website for selling trucks at a great price. We just sold this, and this, and this, and this. Check it out at trucksandbucks.com. So I'm gonna start on the outside of this MX-5 Miata Turbo, whatever I called it, and first thing you'll notice is the absolutely horrendously ugly paint color. I mean, this is just an eyesore on the road. Can you imagine you're going down the road trying to get some groceries in your nice Buick and you see this thing next to you? You're gonna wanna immediately call the police and make sure it stays off the road for good. You don't want this anywhere near you. Now you'll also notice these very nice 17-inch wheels. They're ugly. Don't. All right, next I wanna move on to the wheels. Now you'll notice here that the previous owner has already destroyed this wheel with some lovely curb rash, so that's really good. But I want to make a noteworthy point about these. As evil Doug DeMuro, I'm very knowledgeable about cars. Anyways, you can see here that these are the GT spec wheels, so they're a whole whopping 17 inches big. I know, massive. But this may be massive for Miata members. You see, Miata owners always want to prove something. They've always got something to show to everyone else that they bought a good car. So, if you guys remember from the NA Miata came stock with 14-inch wheels. Not good. The NB Miata, I don't know what they came with, probably 15s. NC, we don't even want to talk about that one. This one normally comes standard with 16-inch wheels, right? However, because the previous owner decided he wanted to spend a kidney on a 4-cylinder, he bought the GT model, which gets 17-inch wheels versus 16-inch wheels. And I've just got to say, they are hideous. These are ugly. Nobody wants these. Also, I just want to make a note while I'm down here. The general shape of this car and the very silhouette is quite unattractive. It's really ugly. I know I already talked about how I hate this paint color, but the exterior of this car is just ugly and like disgusting. I would not want this anywhere near me. If this shows up next to you at a Cars and Coffees, too bad. You better run. All right, next I want to move on to the front of this. Gotta be nice, this usable car. So as you see, it's got this big happy mouth. Now, Miata owners have always been a little unstable, we'll be polite here. And you see, they all the generations have this stupid little grin, right? So the NA obviously is the most mentally unhinged. It's got this big old smile. I actually own an NA, and because, again, Mazda Miatas are terrible products, it broke, and it is currently not working. It's in a garage. Anyways, NB Miata, same thing, little toned down, a little less mentally unhinged, but it's still got the same philosophy. NC, again, I don't want to talk about that one. That one's just, don't speak about that one. And then finally, we got the latest generation Miata, the MX-5 ND. As you can see, it's also got a big goofy face right here. So it retains the same philosophy, the same kind of shape and front end of the old Miatas. Just admittedly, it is modernized, I'll give them that. However, what this car doesn't have is a turbo. So that means this car is slow. Anyways, also you can also see this big old Mazda badge. It's like as big as my hand. It's really big. I don't know why they needed to do that, but we got a big old Mazda emblem right there. The NA Miata actually has the old Mazda logo, which is pretty cool. And Renault, fun fact, thought that they were copying them, so they had to change it to avoid copyright issues. And now we're with this thing, which they just changed again for no reason, because every company likes oversimplifying things. So this is like the last time you might see this emblem here. This car is still quite small. The NA is admittedly a go-kart, but this is also just maybe a lawnmower, maybe one of those John Deeres you see riding around on the lawns. This might be that. It's also got the speed of one, so that kind of checks out here, to be perfectly honest with you. Nevertheless, you can also see, you probably can't see it, but there's like 20 sensors in here. I don't know why, but I guess Mazda decided they wanted to get into Formula One and put 376,000 sensors in the front grille here. So there are like 20 of them. And I mean, yeah, you may notice that this car is a hardtop. So you might be like, hey, wait a second, you liar. This is not a Miata, they're convertible. Aha, this car has a whopping $7,000 option. I think it's something like that. And it has the retractable electronic hardtop. A Miata purist would get the soft top. That's what the MX-5 Cup cars are. It's lighter and has a lower center of gravity. However, if you have this model, you have to wait a whole 17 seconds or something thereabouts to let this do its dance. I mean, how's your day going? I'm just sitting here doing a car review, as you do. Still going. And now it's done. So now, as you see, no, not a convertible. You got this. So you can cosplay as Brian from Fast and Furious with the, you know, the super target top, but alas, we do not have that here. Now, let's say it starts to rain. One, you can't use it if you're going over like 6 miles an hour. I mean, probably a safe thing, I'll give them that. However, if it's pouring, you gotta wait another 17 seconds. So I'll just sit here. I've had a pretty good day today, I won't lie. You know, I could probably edit a whole short in this time. Oh, as you see, that's how that's done. So that's the convertible operation of this vehicle. Also, if you didn't notice, the rear glass in the back does go down when the top comes off. So you do get open air. And you can also pull out this like wind deflector back here. But I mean, it's not a real convertible. The owner of this car, which is definitely not me, tells me he likes the hardtop. It's better for interstate travel, looks better, and he owns the NA for track use. So this is perfectly acceptable for a daily driver. Okay, moving on to the interior of this here vehicular device. You see, Mazda saw the German engineers, right? You got BMW, Audi, Porsche, Mercedes, all those guys, right? Volkswagen, of course. And they were like, I like the way they think with their interiors. So as you see, you have what is basically a cosplay of a German interior. You got probably fake leather. You got probably fake carbon fiber. You got aluminum, which may be real, but it's aluminum. It's not exactly a diamond. Anyways, they try to make a nice premium interior, which again, I will give to them. As Evil Doug DeMuro, I don't want to be too mean, but you can see where they took some inspiration from. Anyways, so that's the material overview of what they used on the interior of this car. I apologize, that sentence was overly complex for no reason. So we move on to the steering wheel. It's nice, you can hold it. It's a steering wheel. Let's look at the infotainment. So as you see, you've got this cute little infotainment screen. I don't know how big it is. I think it's like 8 inches. Miata purists are like, oh, I am one with the road. I will beat your GT3 RS in a twisty road. Just hit me on the back roads, bro. So they don't really care about this stuff, so that's excusable. But Miata purists, again, at the same time, are also secretly coping because they would wish that they had working AC, which this car does have. It does have working AC. So on a slightly hotter day like today, you can turn it on. You've got air conditioning and you won't sweat to death. And NA owners struggle with this idea, of course. You know, as an NA owner myself, I do struggle with this. In fact, my Mitsubishi Eclipse has a similar issue. But anyways, now in the inside as well, you will also notice this cool paint matched interior piece. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Now, as you can also see right here, 6-speed manual transmission, right? So you have 6 gears. This is a concept that is also foreign to some NA and some NB owners because they only have 5 gears. Now, you're still gonna sit at 3K RPM on the highway probably. The NA, it's like 4, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. Now, also in the inside, you will notice we have some speakers in the headrest. Again, this is a GT trim, so it's got the Bose speaker setup. It's got like 9 speakers, I think. So you get some pretty good audio. You can listen to your Eurobeat at max volume when you're going down the back road at 3 miles an hour. Now, you may also notice we have a manual handbrake. Seeing a manual handbrake nowadays is pretty nice to see. Uh-oh, I'm rolling. But manual handbrake, it does the job. Oh yeah, no glove box. They just said, no, you're not getting a glove box. But you do have storage right here in the middle, and there's also storage cubbies behind the seats. So you do have some storage in this car, but you're not gonna be hauling around any Christmas trees anytime soon. Now we are getting under the hood of the ND ABCDFG Miata. As you see, we have a whole mighty 2-liter 4-cylinder. However, this is a big step up for Miata owners, as the original NA had 116 crank horsepower. Then they went to 130 something. Then they went to like 140 something with the NB2 with VVTi. NC, I don't know how much that has, but no one cares about that one. And finally, this one. Originally, it did have 150 something horsepower, but in 2019 and up, they bumped it up to a 2-liter engine, and it now has 181 crank horsepower. So as you see, it's an engine, there's not much special about it. It's a Skyactiv G4 cylinder, I don't know what that means. But I did hear it's direct injection, so that's a little scary. Anyways, as you see, you got a manual hood prop. Kind of nice to see again, but this is a rather basic sports car, so it's kind of to be expected. Again, Miata purists do not really care about this sort of thing, so that's pretty cool. Also, you can see it's very clean here. No one's had a chance to mess with this car, but the owner, again, definitely not me, definitely isn't planning to do anything to this car later on. Clean engine bay, it's a 2-liter, 181 crank. It's clean, it's modern. It's not used to what a lot of NA owners are used to seeing. They're used to seeing a whole bunch of jibber jabber in their engines, whole bunch of owners, but this is a clean example. Surprisingly. In fact, I think this is shared with the CX-3. So take that how you will. I believe they did tweak it with a higher red line and some other things, but however, that does mean it's still lightweight, it's still fun to drive, decently quick in my opinion. And again, this is Evil Doug DeMuro talking. It's got some decent acceleration. You're not gonna beat a Mustang, but you know, it'll get up there. Older Miatas struggle to hit the speed limit. this one, you know, you might actually be able to get a speeding ticket. So those were the quirks and features of the 2021 Mazda MX-5 Miata BRZ FRS Turbo. So now we're gonna get it on the road and take it for a test drive. I'm not really expecting much. All right, guys, Evil Doug DeMuro here. Evil Doug DeMuro here. As you see, I ran out of budget to afford a phone mount, so we're just gonna roll with this. So first of all, as you hear, 181 horsepower. Air, that's crazy. Air conditioning. So let's hit the road. So one thing I'm already noticing is that this car feels like a PlayStation, right? When you drive a car in a PlayStation video game, it feels a little numb because you obviously can't feel the car. This car doesn't necessarily feel numb, but you know, the steering is a little vague compared to the old Miata. But acceleration, it's a car. It accelerates normally, it decelerates normally, the brakes are fine. I mean, to be perfectly honest, guys, the ND Miata stock just kind of feels like a car. So, I mean, I can rev match, you know. However, as a owner of an NA, I will say I miss the direct response feel of cable and plate throttle because the electronic one in this car has a little bit of lag, so it's a little harder to rev match, and I haven't even tried heel towing. Steering's still nice and sharp. It feels very nicely planted. Again, Evil Doug DeMuro saying this. I know I need to keep bringing my name up a lot because I'm just an important individual. Anyways, so we're going on like a back road here. I mean, it's smooth, it's nice. And as you can see right here, boom, 6th gear. I mean, I can still hit a triple downshift, but this car feels nice. It's got decent acceleration, like even for just car standards. But yeah, I can confirm that, as you saw. I mean, acceleration is nice, it goes. So you get good acceleration, good air conditioning. I would say the driving experience of this car makes up for the personal gripes of Evil Doug DeMuro. Evil Doug DeMuro has a very specific palate, so I'm very picky, right? But I would say that makes up for it. Now, the owner of this car, again, definitely not me, reports that he loves this car. He thinks it's the best Miata generation ever. In fact, I think my evil brother, Doug DeMuro, I think he shared a similar opinion as well. So that's my thought. But that is, as you see, yeah, the handling is pretty sublime, so I'll give this car a pass. And so that's the 2021 Miata GTR Turbo. So now this car, again, piece of crap, not really, it's not really a nice car. This car is definitely not a step up from other previous Miata models. This car is definitely an eyesore on the road. And most of all, I don't like this car personally. Thank you for watching.